The former nanny of Prince William and Harry. The payout is over false allegations she had an affair with Prince Charles.
It's no secret that Princess Diana's final days have remained one of the most talked about mysteries in royal history. The world mourned her sudden death, but behind palace walls, not everything was as it seemed. Now, after decades of silence, a retired royal nanny has come forward with a shocking testimony of what happened to Diana. According to her, what she saw inside Diana's room that night could change everything we thought we knew. So why has she decided to speak out now? What did she witness that's been kept quiet all these years? Stay with us as we uncover the shocking truth behind the nanny's long-held secret, Tiggy's confession. It's been over 25 years since Princess Diana passed away, yet many people still feel like the full truth has never come out. Her death shocked the world and left behind questions, rumors, and heartbreak. Over the years, many people have spoken about Diana's life, her struggles, and her final days. But one woman, who was very close to her sons, stayed quiet until now. That woman was a royal nanny named Tiggy Bourke. You see, Tiggy Bourke was not just any nanny. She was personally chosen by Prince Charles to look after Prince William and Prince Harry. Tiggy became a big part of their daily lives. She was not just watching over them, she helped raise them. Because of this, she was trusted with important duties and had access to private areas of the royal household. In many ways, she became a central figure in the lives of the young princes. But not everyone trusted her, especially Diana. Keep watching, because what we are about to reveal will shock you. Diana did not like how close Tiggy had become to her sons. She also didn't like the way Tiggy seemed to be taking on a motherly role. It made Diana feel like she was being replaced. Some people inside the palace said Tiggy would call the boys her babies and often took them on fun trips, which only made Diana more upset. Over time, the tension between the two women grew stronger. Then, in 1995, things took a dark turn. Diana heard a rumor that Tiggy was secretly involved with Prince Charles and that she had even had a child with him and lost it. Diana believed the story and even confronted Tiggy about it in public. This moment left Tiggy shocked and hurt. But the story wasn't true. Years later, it was discovered that a journalist from the BBC had created false documents to trick Diana into trusting him. He fed her fake stories, including the one about Tiggy and Charles. His goal was to get Diana to agree to a private interview where she would talk about her life and her fears. Tiggy never defended herself publicly at the time. She stayed quiet and kept working. But the rumors followed her for years. In 2022, the truth finally came out. When Tiggy finally spoke about it, she didn't attack Diana. Instead, she shared how painful it was to be caught in the middle of something so big and hurtful. She had cared deeply for William and Harry, and she said the lies had caused a lot of damage to the royal family. But what she revealed next shocked the entire royal house. Stay tuned. Now, when she was asked about Diana's death, Tiggy told reporters that it was not what people expected. She said it did not feel like just a tragic accident. She hinted that something darker might have been going on. And this may be true because, according to reports from that time, Diana herself had already expressed fear for her life. She told close friends, and even wrote in a letter, that she believed her husband was planning something terrible. She said she thought he wanted her out of the way, and that there might be a plot to harm her in a car crash. This sounds shocking, but these claims weren't made up. The letter was real and later made public. Diana had been feeling watched, isolated, and scared in her final years. She was no longer part of the royal household, but she still had a huge influence. Her popularity made her powerful, and possibly a threat to some people within the royal circle. She often felt that people around her couldn't be trusted, and she didn't keep those feelings to herself. So with Tiggy, being close to the family and to the boys, likely saw some of the tension growing behind the scenes. While she never accused anyone directly, her comments about Diana's death not being what it seemed only added more questions. She may have kept many of her thoughts to herself out of loyalty or even fear, and she's not the only one. Over the years, many people who were once close to Diana have stepped forward to say that her final months were filled with fear, stress, and warning signs. Some even believe she was trying to send a message before it was too late. And these revelations might just be true because when you check how Diana died, it just adds up. So what was the real story behind death? Let's find out. The truth behind Diana's death. Princess Diana did not just hint that her husband was planning to kill, she put it in writing. In 2003, a private letter of hers was published, written nearly 2 years before her death. In that letter, Diana expressed a deep fear that someone was planning to harm her by tampering with her car, possibly causing brake failure, all to make it look like a tragic accident. At the time, many brushed it off as paranoia, but after her death in a car crash, the tone of that letter took on a chilling new meaning. Diana's fear was not just random. She felt very isolated, mistrustful, even of those closest to her. Having lost her official royal status, she believed the palace might be working against her. And that private note wasn't just emotional. It was very detailed about the event surrounding her death. In those same final years, a high-profile panorama interview was set in motion. A BBC reporter, Martin Bashir, befriended Diana by planting false bank statements and claims that her staff were being paid by the palace to spy on her. It succeeded in convincing a vulnerable Diana that she needed to confront the royal system head-on. What followed was that explosive 1995 interview. Diana spoke openly about her mental health, her relationship with Charles, and her fear of palace betrayal. She famously said, "There were 3 of us in this marriage," calling out Camilla Parker Bowles. The global reaction was mixed, because some people were in shock and another set expressed sympathy. But what happened after that meeting left everyone in shock. Stay tuned. After that interview, it was as if Diana laid it all out and was finally free. People say Diana entered a new phase of her life, one where she reportedly found joy and freedom with Dodi Fayed, son of Egyptian billionaire Mohammed Al Fayed. Their relationship began in summer 1997 aboard the Fayed family yacht and continued in Paris, where press coverage intensified. Rumors spread that Dodi had purchased a diamond ring poised for an engagement, a claim still disputed today. Diana's friendship with Dodi brought rumors of hope, but also concern. He was wealthy, not British royalty, and Muslim, factors many believe alarmed insiders. Some alleged Diana might have been pregnant, and that they planned to marry. Though no proof of pregnancy was ever found at post-mortem, Mohammed Al Fayed strongly insisted these claims were true. These rumors sparked his long-running claim that the couple was murdered to prevent a royal upheaval. On August 31, 1997, after dining and briefly sleeping at the Ritz Paris, Diana and Dodi left the hotel with Henry Paul driving and bodyguard Trevor Rees-Jones in tow. Their black Mercedes entered the Pont de l'Alma tunnel at high speed. It crashed into a pillar. Diana and Dodi died at the scene, while Paul and Rees-Jones were also badly injured. After Diana's death, official investigations followed. A French inquiry blamed Henry Paul's intoxication and speeding, while a British inquest in 2008 ruled the deaths as unlawful due to gross negligence from both the driver and paparazzi pursuit. A formal Metropolitan Police review, Operation Paget, examined 175 conspiracy theories, including the involvement of MI6 or royal motives, but concluded there was no evidence of foul play. Even after all that, Mohammed Al Fayed didn't give up. He kept saying that his son and Princess Diana were killed by people in the royal family. But while the world was busy arguing about what really caused Diana's death, there were 2 young boys left without their mother. Harry and William had to be helped just to walk behind her coffin. No investigation, no news story, and no report could ever take away that kind of pain. That sadness stayed with Tiggy Bork, the nanny, who helped raise them. And it's part of the reason she finally decided to speak up. Because Diana wasn't just a princess, she was a loving mother. And even years after her death, her sons still miss her deeply. That kind of love never fades the love and impact of a mother. Stay tuned as we reveal what made Diana a special mom. Diana's parenting style. Unlike previous royal mothers, who often followed strict traditions, Diana was different. She didn't want to be a distant figure in her children's lives. She wanted to be present in every way possible. Diana broke royal norms by breastfeeding William, a decision that had been almost unheard of in the royal family for generations. Diana even picked Williams herself, instead of allowing the palace to decide. More importantly, she pushed back against the idea that royal nannies should do most of the parenting. Diana was determined to be a hands-on mother, not just a figurehead. Her devotion became even more evident when, just a few weeks after William was born, Prince Charles had to travel to Australia. Traditionally, royal children would stay behind in the care of staff, but Diana refused to leave her newborn son. She brought William along, sending a clear message. No royal duty was more important than being there for her child. As William grew, Diana continued to defy expectations. Instead of hiring private tutors to teach him inside the palace, as had been done for past royal children, she enrolled him in a local nursery school near Kensington Palace. Parents and bystanders were often amazed to see a princess personally dropping off and picking up her son, something almost unheard of in royal history. This wasn't just a small act of independence. It was a quiet revolution in royal parenting. But Diana's efforts to give her children a normal life didn't stop there. She made sure William and his younger brother Harry experienced the world beyond palace walls. Their childhood wasn't just about grand banquets and royal engagements. It was filled with everyday moments that any child would cherish. Diana took the two princes to McDonald's, not because she particularly enjoyed fast food, but because she wanted them to experience what regular kids did. She took them on the London Underground, let them enjoy theme parks, and surrounded them with people who didn't bow or address them in formal tones. These weren't just casual outings, they were carefully planned lessons. Diana wanted her boys to see life from all perspectives, to understand the world outside of their royal bubble. According to her former protection officer Ken Worf, Princess Diana meticulously arranged these trips, choosing the quietest times and minimizing security. Sometimes she even wore subtle disguises to move unnoticed among the public. She wasn't just giving them a childhood, she was teaching them empathy, a lesson that would shape them for years to come. Her desire to instill compassion became even clearer when she introduced her sons to her charity work. In one particularly impactful moment, she brought William to visit Centrepoint, a charity dedicated to helping young homeless people in London. Here, he met children and teenagers who had grown up without families, without education, and without a place to call home. For Diana, this wasn't just about exposing William to the struggles of others. It was about making sure he understood the responsibility that came with his privileged position. Through her love, her defiance of outdated traditions, and her unwavering commitment to her children, Diana didn't just change the way royal parenting was done, she redefined it entirely. But Diana's approach to parenting did not stop at defying royal traditions or taking her sons on fast food outings. There were many quiet but powerful moments that revealed just how intentional she was in shaping William and Harry's values and character. One lesser-known moment came when Diana secretly arranged for her sons to visit a hospital ward for AIDS patients. At the time, misinformation and stigma around HIV/AIDS were rampant, and many people, including children, were taught to fear even casual contact with patients. Diana wanted to change that, not only for the public, but starting with her own children. She had them meet patients personally and observe her as she shook hands and hugged them, making it clear that compassion mattered more than fear. These small but bold actions planted seeds of empathy in the young princes and taught them to treat all people with dignity. Another moment that shows the kind of mother Diana was during their vacations. Unlike typical royal holidays, which were known for lavish resorts and private islands, Diana often chose more modest trips. She would take the boys skiing, to theme parks in the US, or on beach holidays where they could mix with everyday tourists. Diana even took her children to Bosnia in 1997 to see firsthand the devastating impact of landmines, a cause she passionately supported. By exposing them to both joy and hardship, Diana shaped her sons into global citizens who would later take on humanitarian causes of their own. Diana also gave them space to be emotionally honest. She once said in an interview that she wanted William and Harry to grow up feeling love, not just duty. That mindset was radical in a family known for stoicism and restraint. She spoke to them about mental health, grief, and relationships, helping them understand that showing emotion was not a weakness. This open communication created a lifelong bond between them. It's no coincidence that both princes have since championed mental health awareness, following in her emotionally honest footsteps. What also stood out was how Diana challenged the idea of perfection. She admitted when she was struggling. She showed vulnerability, not only to the world, but also to her children. When Diana and Charles separated, she tried to make sure the boys still had quality time with both parents. She didn't speak to them like future royals. She spoke to them like sons who deserved truth, safety, and love. She wanted them to be confident, grounded, and kind-hearted, not just well-groomed heirs. In many ways, Diana's parenting style was decades ahead of its time. She embraced emotional intelligence, valued experiences over appearances, and tried to give her sons what no crown could provide: a sense of humanity. Her influence didn't just shape two boys, it shifted the tone of modern royal parenting, one that has left a legacy for her in the royal house. Keep watching as we explore Diana's legacy. Diana's legacy. To fully understand the impact of Diana's parenting, we have to consider Diana's legacy, which is different from others, because it is not focused on what she did as a person, but on how she shaped the future through her sons. What she poured into William and Harry has quietly become the foundation of how both men live, lead, and parent today. Her legacy didn't end in 1997. It was planted in two young boys who grew into men, determined to protect, preserve, and extend what she stood for. As fathers, both William and Harry have chosen to raise their children in ways that reveals Diana's values. It is in the decisions they make daily, from the routines they build at home to the public causes they support, that her influence becomes unmistakably clear. William, the future king, could have easily gone back to the old way of royal parenting, but instead, he has embraced something far more personal. His home life with Catherine is designed to feel normal, not regal. Their children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, attend day schools and play sports like their peers. Family outings, school runs, and visible affection are not reserved for the cameras. They are a part of the family's rhythm. The intention is clear. These children are not being raised above others, but among them. Inside their home, Prince William is said to encourage his family to talk openly about their emotions, something that didn't often happen in the royal family before. His children grow up learning about feelings, personal space, and family history. They know about their late grandmother, Princess Diana, not just as a photo on the wall, but as someone important with a real story. Even though Diana never met her grandchildren, William makes sure they know who she was and why she matters. This helps them understand who they are and what values matter in their family. One quiet but meaningful parenting choice William reportedly made shows how deeply he respects his mother. He decided that his children would not call Camilla grandmother. This isn't just about titles. It's William's way of protecting Diana's memory and keeping her role in the family special and clear. For him, Diana can't be replaced. Her memory is something he holds sacred. Outside the home, William also carries on Diana's mission through his actions. He continues to support the causes she cared about. For example, William is still involved with Centerpoint, a charity for homeless youth that Diana introduced to him when he was a child. Now he talks to his own children about homelessness and the importance of helping others. Prince William also works on mental health issues, especially among young people and men. His calm but open style as a leader shows a mix of strength and emotion, something Diana tried to model during her life in the royal family. Prince Harry, though taking a different path, is also deeply influenced by Diana. He chose to step back from royal duties to protect his family from the same intense media attention that hurt his mother. He didn't leave just to rebel. He left to protect his wife and children. His goal was to give his family a peaceful and emotionally healthy life, just like Diana once wished for him. As a father, Harry is creating the kind of home he believes Diana would have wanted for her grandchildren: safe, loving, and full of meaning. He and Meghan often speak about the importance of emotional well-being and personal growth. They value privacy not just to stay away from the media, but to let their children grow up with freedom and confidence, not tied to royal expectations. Harry's work also continues his mother's legacy. He started the Invictus Games to support injured and sick military veterans, similar to how Diana cared deeply about people who were often overlooked. Harry has also spoken publicly about his mental health, even sharing his personal struggles. This openness reminds people of how honest Diana was during some of her most difficult times in the spotlight. Even though William and Harry have chosen different paths, they both make sure that their children know who Diana was. Her pictures are in their homes. Her life is part of their family stories. Her values show up in how they raise their children, like choosing schools that focus on kindness, reading bedtime stories that teach empathy, and setting rules that respect emotions. They aren't just remembering Diana, they are bringing her spirit into their everyday lives. Their wives have also helped continue Diana's legacy. Catherine Middleton supports causes that Diana cared about, like children's mental health. She also focuses on being a present and loving parent rather than just following royal rules. Meghan, through her charity work and public speeches, shows care and understanding, much like Diana did when she spent time with those in need. Both women have taken Diana's values and helped them grow in their own way. What's most powerful about Diana's legacy through her sons is that they didn't just copy her actions. They truly understood what she stood for. And now, it's clear why former royal nanny Tiggy went on to reveal the real truth behind Diana's death. Because sometimes, clarity on a certain matter makes people see a person for who they truly are. What are your thoughts on the royal nanny's confession? Do you believe it changes how we understand the events leading up to Diana's death? And most importantly, how do you think Diana's unique approach to parenting has influenced the future of the monarchy? Share your opinions with us in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, click the following video on your screen, and you will enjoy it.